Okay, welcome back to the Past the Vibes podcast with your host J-Rod, and who do we have on the mic today?
What's up, you guys? It's your boy, El Hijo del Sol. ¿Cómo están?
I don't even have any words for it at this point. Even though this is only we're not too many episodes into this podcast, but I don't.
Well, that one's a little foreshadowing as to what the episode's going to be like today.
I guess, but it's like I normally would make fun of you, but I feel like I'm just too tired to make fun of you right now for that one. I'm just all right, man. Yeah, you know Spanish. You're lucky. I wish I learned Spanish as a kid. I could have.
Do you know what that translates to?
Say it again.
El Hijo del Sol.
The kid of the sun or something?
Yeah, the son of the sun.
Okay. Well, I didn't think it'd be that way because that sounds stupid.
I think more people would translate it to child of the sun.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
But then that would be the literal translation would be El Niño del Sol.
Yeah,
but
that's
I guess
like
little
boy.
Way.
Yeah,
El Hijo del Sol.
Yeah, you are a little boy.
Son of the sun, bro. Son of the sun.
Okay, so son of the sun. Yeah, because I'm not repeating what you said. I already forgot it. Yeah. So welcome back to Past the Vibes podcast. Yeah. Whoa, I hear the ice cream, man.
Yeah.
That just took me back. I'm like, oh shit.
Even though we're still on lockdown, bro,
yeah.
It is springtime, so now is prime ice cream truck season.
The past weekend, they were rolling around this neighborhood. I heard it for a good hour. I would just hear
classic Mr. Softy music.
That just reminds me. So I have really weird neighbors that live below me, and oh, by the way, this is we just talked about how you're gonna open up the episode that way. This is gonna be our bonus episode for Mother's Day.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna upload two episodes for when this comes out on Sunday, May 10th, for Mother's Day. And then, speaking of mothers, there is this couple that lives below me. They're an older couple, and they moved in maybe they moved in around September, and the guy was pretty nice. And then I found out that they were I don't want to say just they're Russian. They're Eastern European. They have either a Russian accent or some kind of Eastern European accent.
Yeah. He's
pretty cool. He has these two big trucks or whatever. I'm not trying to put him on blast. He's a pretty cool guy. I say hi to him whenever I walk by him. But the wife, man, and they do have kids. Their kids have come by here, so this is why I thought it was a great segue on moms. She's just the weirdest fucking. I don't know if it's a part of their culture or some shit. And if it is, so be it. Nothing against it, but it's just strange to me that every time I've said hi to the husband, he says, hello, with a big smile, and even though he smokes cigarettes, whatever, he smokes them outside. But yeah, whenever she walks by me, whenever I'm when I used to walk to my car to go to work, she would literally beeline it down this sidewalk, and we have to walk by each other, by the way. But she would beeline it and keep her eyes straight to the ground and would not look at me. And I'm what? And I would say oh, hey, how you doing? Or good morning. Wouldn't look at me, just look straight at the ground. And I'm did I say something?
So this one might not be as weird as you may think it'll be. So in certain cultures, and I'm not
maybe you know something I don't.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with the Russian or Eastern European culture as much, but I know in certain cultures, when it comes to Latin America or Hispanic culture, the wives, when spoken to, or even Middle Eastern culture, I believe this happens as well.
Mm-hmm.
If the wife is married, when another male speaks to him, it's kind of enrooted in them, and this is more so traditionalist.
That's what I was thinking.
That they don't acknowledge or
men.
Respond. It's they put their head down because it's kind of seen. I guess in the culture, it's kind of seen as disrespectful.
That's and I had a feeling that was it because this happened on 3 separate occasions. So I was I gave it 3 attempts to say good morning or hello to this woman, but she would always head straight down and would not look at me and wouldn't say anything to me. And I'm just okay, you're an asshole, but if that's how they're accustomed to living.
Bro.
Like, man, that's fine.
I think in that case, and I always give when it comes to like foreigners or people that people like that clearly are from other countries or are deeply rooted in cultures of other countries, I give them more so the benefit of the doubt as opposed to just being like, oh, you're an asshole for not acknowledging me. But I do know that when it comes to certain cultures, it's like the husband or whatever male, they'll talk to you normal. It'll be like, yeah, what's up? Everything's good. But the wives, if they're really embedded in that mind frame, they will make it a point not to speak to you or acknowledge you just out of respect for their marriage
for their
or
husband,
for their tradition and all that.
And that's what it's like. I had to really think about it. And I mean, this was, the 3 attempts happened in the span of like 3 weeks. So, I mean, this probably like October was the last time I attempted to try to say like a good morning to her. But yes, like after that, I was like, it has to be something like where they're from. Like it has to be that. But then I kind of got over the fact of like kind of feeling sympathetic or not sympathetic, kind of like understanding. That all went out the window when there's just a quick story. It was a random Tuesday, and before all of this quarantine stuff happened, and I'll never forget. They've like I make it a point to myself just to be respectful. Like I play music all day, every day. Whether it be in my headphones or on my like living room speaker or some shit like that. I keep it at a moderate level. Like there are some days like on the weekend where I'll start blasting it, but still not to the point where like I'm shaking my house or the building. There was just this one Tuesday where they were playing music loud, and I'm like, that's fine, whatever. Like I'm not a complainer. Like I play my music, so whatever. But it was loud enough to the point where I heard every lyric of whatever the fuck they were listening to, because it was something like foreign. It was a foreign song, and I heard everything. So I'm above them, and I heard every single lyric, and I'm like, what the fuck? So it's like 11 o'clock's coming around. I'm like, all right, this is probably gonna die down soon. Like they're old, but I think they had like 2 other people. They had another couple there because I remember seeing them, like another pair of people like sitting outside that night, and I was like, okay, so like they're entertaining guests, cool. But yeah, like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock comes around. I'm like, this is going to turn down, right? I'm like, this is Tuesday. If it was Saturday, yeah, I'm not going to say shit.
Yeah.
Yo, I shit you not. It was 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. So going into Wednesday, and it was loud to the point where I could still hear. I heard them, and I heard all of the music. And I was like, whoa. I still didn't complain because I'm kind of a spiteful motherfucker. So I kind of just like kept that in my back pocket. And since then, I play my music as loud as I want. And so if I ever hear a complaint, I'm going to be like, oh, remember that like fucking Tuesday that you guys wanted to play whatever the hell you were playing? Yeah, I didn't say shit. And neither did any of the other neighbors too, because like technically we're surrounded by they're surrounded by 2 other people. Like there's someone on one end and then the other. And so I don't know if someone said anything. The only time I had like blasting music was New Year's. I threw something here for New Year's, and that was the only time. But it's New Year's. Like either you're not home or you're blasting shit yourself.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I'll never forget that shit because it's like I would never disrespect any working people on a Tuesday night. Like, excuse me. Hey, I'm going to blast some fucking Lil Yachty at 2 a.m. and just fucking destroy your eardrums. Like, I heard every word, dude. It pissed me off.
Since that day, have they done it? Have they done that?
Oh, they've done it accidentally. I think their kids come over and do it. They're like older kids, like probably in their 20s.
Yeah.
And there was one day where they played Rockstar by Post Malone and 21 Savage. Okay. I heard every fucking lyric. And they did it just for that song. I guess like they just wanted to, hey mom, I just heard this song that's 2 years old and let me play it at max volume. Yeah, they did that. That was like the last time they did it, and that was recently. But they turned it right down after that song ended. And it was the weekend, so I was like, all right, whatever. Like and it was a nice day out too, so everyone had like their windows and their doors open or whatever. But yeah, dude, that one night, it was like in the winter. It was like November, December. So like it gets dark at 4 o'clock. Everyone's already just miserable because it's cold and it gets dark early.
And they had to be celebrating something big.
Dude, I don't fucking know, bro. I don't care, but it's just in my pocket. I'm like, oh, remember that time, like some Tuesday? Like I didn't fucking say anything, but Yeah, dude, I'm petty. I'm petty as shit.
A big petty wop over here.
But anyway, I just wanted to say that story because, oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't even, the whole point. The whole point. So during lockdown, like I'm always in my, my office / recording room.
The studio.
And, I'm working or I'm editing something. And it was like right in the middle of the day, I just got done my run. And I look outside the window because they like to slam their fucking door. Like, come on now. It shakes my door. Fuck. Anyway, I know I'm complaining a lot. Well, I don't care.
Just an angry neighbor right now.
I'm not. But the thing is, if I was an angry neighbor, I feel like I would have complained by now. But I don't complain. I take it one step further.
There are two types of angry neighbors, bro. They're the angry neighbors that act on
that
their
are
feelings,
vocal. Yeah.
And then they're the angry neighbors that are petty wops.
Yeah. I just one up you. That's what I do. Anyway, so like I always know when they're leaving because they slam their door, or coming home. So she doesn't. I shouldn't assume this, but I believe she doesn't work because I see the husband go to work every morning. He has like he has to have some kind of like pickup service because he has like 2 giant white vans that are in the parking lot. But anyway, she just stays at home, and whenever I hear her leave, like I'll like look out the window or something like that. And just the funniest shit happened where she was doing the fucking
the sign of the cross.
Like she did that like 5 times over, and I'm like, is she like protecting herself from COVID?
Maybe.
I don't know. I just thought it was so funny because I'm going out of my mind being here 6 days out of the week by myself. So like any form of like little entertainment, I'll take that put that to my chest and just keep it with me. To keep me laughing. But I just thought that was something funny that I had to just share because I was just like, she did it fast too, like bam 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 bam, and then walked out around the out of the neighborhood. But
man,
that lady's crazy.
You never know, bro. All of this could just all be traditional stuff, like I said.
Oh no, they're super religious. I hear other music that I hear sometimes is like I think it's like either recordings of services, like whatever religion that they may be. I'll hear like a very like a hymn coming from my floor, and I'm just like, okay, it's and then you hear somebody talking, and I'm like, okay, let me turn this TI up a little bit more. That's what I'll do. Well, I don't want to hear it.
No, all right.
Don't look at me that way. You're looking. I'm not disrespecting him. I just don't want to hear it. Like, all right, like,
bro, T.I. mixed with the hymns in the background.
I'm gonna play some Top Back. I'm gonna play, man.
I'm not mad at that. I like that song.
All right, but yeah, I just had to fucking say it because it's so funny. But yeah. So instead of me running my mouth this episode, the son of the sun. I almost forgot it.
Yes, sir.
The son of the sun wanted to kind of lead this episode.
Yeah, man. So this week has been quite the tumultuous week for me. So since the last episode we recorded, or last time we were here in the Past the Vibe Studios recording.
Please stop.
PTV Studios, bro.
No.
It was on a Saturday, and
yeah, it was Saturday.
And after that, the following day, it was a Sunday, beautiful day outside.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time outdoors. I was fiending to play basketball, bro.
You should have.
They're all.
I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Over in Pennsauken, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, they took down all of the courts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even though they reopened the parks for walking and biking and all that, hoops, playgrounds, basketball courts, all of that still shut down.
You can't be 6 feet distancing fucking playing ball. You're just taking threes the whole game.
Hey, man, if it's one-on-one with your boy, I feel like you'd be okay, but...
Well, you just like to shoot, but anyway.
Hey, man, I'm a shooter.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, bro, I was fiending to play some ball. But on that day, I did go out for a walk, and I actually listened back to some of our podcasts. And while I was doing that, you were over here in the lab coming up with the new logo, which is fire, by the way. Mm-hmm. If you guys haven't checked out our new logo, check it out with the neon lights. Oh, it's fire.
It'll be on the new. Is it? Did I?
I think it's still on our official logo is still the older one.
Is it? I didn't change it.
I don't think so.
Oh, I think I didn't. You're right.
Wait, it didn't. I think I'm maybe on the IG page, but on the podcast
on the
services,
IG, shit, yeah,
I think it's still the old one.
I might do that right now.
But that's a fire logo, and I was walking around listening back to some of our old pods and watching our videos, and I'm like, yo, to give ourselves a round of applause, little pat on the back. You know, we really do the damn thing around here. And I'm a hard critic of myself. I'll go back and like rewatch all the things I do, whether they're freestyle videos, performances, just trying to improve and get better. But I'm listening back to them. I'm like, yo, I think that the people will really rock with this. Like, we really did our thing with that.
Yeah, so, we're trying out here.
Yeah, man, we're really trying to put in this work, put out a good product. But on Sunday, you know, I was feeling good. And then I felt even better because on Monday, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This man's 29, man.
29 years old.
You got one more year, dude. I'm in that year.
Bro, to quote the great philosopher Uncle Drew, age is just a state of mind. So that's how I feel.
Or to quote the great R. Kelly, I'm sorry, Aaliyah, age ain't nothing but a number.
Exactly.
I was thinking of R. Kelly because that's what she was dating at the time.
Yes. So yeah. So yeah, man, your age really is just like based off your mentality. Yeah, it's how you're feeling.
It's literally how you feel, man.
I'm constantly surrounded by great energy, youthful energy, good vibes, so I can keep on going, bro. I plan on being here for a very long time.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, it was my birthday, and almost immediately after midnight hit, I get a little notification, and I got a public shout out from my boy over here, which was super dope.
I forgot that I did that.
I was like, yo, man, this is really cool right here. And a couple hours later, my girl Tina gave me a public shout out. Had a good night's sleep. I wake up to a bunch of texts and messages from all my close friends, my close circle of friends. So, you know, when you get, bro, you know how you get all those messages on your B-Day? It just makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The vibrations were very high that day.
See, it's like I'm completely opposite from you. I hate my birthday.
Really?
And this just distinguishes how our chemistry is, like how opposite we are on some things. I literally can't stand my birthday. Like, anyway, this is your lead. You're leading.
But yeah, man, I was feeling really good. Now on my birthday, really, I don't celebrate, I guess, in the traditional sense. Last year was actually the first year that I celebrated my birthday in like the quote unquote traditional sense, in the sense like, yo, let's go to the club, we're gonna turn up and go out and everything.
I missed that year.
No, you came out, bro.
I did?
Yeah, it was me.
Did I get fucked up? That's
did.
Why I don't remember it.
It was me, you, and John, and we took the train over to Philly to the Fitzwater house, and some of the guys went out. We went to the Barbary.
Yeah.
Had a great time. But that was actually the first year that like I really celebrated in that matter. But what I like to do every year on my birthday, and I'm gonna shout him out because he also hit me up. It's our boy Amar. You know, shout out Amar.
He hit you up?
Yeah.
Yo, the myth, man.
The myth, the legend.
Yeah, he's
a true mythical creature.
He's another myth, like Erykah Badu, man.
But my man Amar, I remember years ago at Rutgers, we were in the cafeteria, and he dropped his like ID or his license or something. And I look at it and I'm like, bro, I didn't know your birthday was on so and so. And he told me, he's like, yeah, man, I really don't like that much attention on my B-Day. I kind of just use that as a day of self-reflection. And
that's what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And unlike him, I do like attention on my B-Day.
Think
the
about
ego,
how my life sucks.
But ego gets boosted. But that one thing he said always stuck with me about using this as a day of self-reflection.
Yeah.
So for like the past 5-6 years now, I make it a point to every year on my birthday, I'll leave my phone in the house and I'll go out for a long walk just around the streets of Pennsauken, and I'll just think and talk out loud about where I've been, where my mindset's at right now, goals, things I want to accomplish. It always makes me feel good. It kind of like, I always view your birthday as a personal New Year's. And I'm not a New Year's resolutions guy by any means, because I feel like you should constantly be progressing and improving regardless of what day it is. But like, your birthday is still a significant day. So to start it off just with like that mental clarity and almost like a form of meditation in a way, just like starting off like with those good thoughts always means a lot to me. I went home. My mom bought me my birthday meal, which really is never anything crazy. A lot of times it's just like a bunch of food from a local pizza spot. So I got some stuffed shells from Carollo's. Shout out Carollo's in Pennsauken.
Man, I haven't eaten all day.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Oh no, I'm hitting up a local wing spot. Well, it's not gonna be Jug Handle, unfortunately, because I don't feel like driving up there. But I will be supporting some lucky pizzeria tonight.
Support local businesses
and buying their wings.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely buying wings tonight.
So I had some stuffed shells, some wings, some pizza, so I had a good meal.
Fuck, dude, that sounds
and
so
then
good. I smelled pizza earlier coming from downstairs. I'm sorry to keep cutting you
you're
off,
good,
man.
you're good. And then afterwards, it's become a tradition at this point. I take the same birthday photo every year. Been taking it for the past 10 years. I always have my seat. I don't always post this on IG, but it does.
Did you post it?
I posted it this year, yeah.
With you in front of the cake?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
So that picture gets taken every single year. It's become a meme at this point. Always against the same background. Most of the time, it's always the same cake. Shout out Brownie Cake from Sweet Eats Bakery.
Yeah,
my mom comes through.
For Sunday's Instagram post, I'm just going to post your face for like the podcast.
Yeah, bro.
I think I might do it.
But it should be that birthday picture, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like just Pacifies podcast episode, blah blah blah.
But yeah, man, it was a great birthday, and then I ended up posting that pic on IG, and I'm just like, and that at that point is just for my own ego. Mm-hmm. You know, we all have egos. We all like getting likes, all that stuff.
What's that, Beyonce?
So
ego.
There you go. I got a big ego.
Oh,
that's the remix. The remix version.
You got such a big ego. Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, continue.
So, so I threw the picture up there, man, and I started getting some comments. And I'm like, I'm not expecting much because all my close circle of friends had already hit me up throughout the day.
Yeah.
But then I'm like answering the comments, and like my boy Matt from Toys R Us came through, and then Voices in Power, bro.
I saw that.
Yeah, like the actual.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's a big.
Bro, that's a heavy hitter, and they're like, yo. Happy birthday to our family, and I'm pretty sure that was the founder of the whole like promotion.
Yeah,
dude named Lewis, who is based in Philly, super good, cool guy, has a lot going on for him. I'm pretty sure he was on that poster. That meant a lot to me, bro, because it's like I've been rocking with VIP for years now, performances there. Mm-hmm. So they're like publicly on their page, like show some love to our boy, happy birthday, fam. I'm like, man.
That's what's up. Yeah.
But then it's like as I'm responding, bro, the comments start pouring in from everybody. And it was overwhelming.
What, friends or
bro.
Voices in Power?
No, from friends. But it's like I have friends from people hitting me up from high school, from Toys R Us, from Target, from Loomis, like everywhere. And it's just like, damn, man, like that really touched my heart, bro. Like, cause it's like I guess when you're going through life day to day and you have all these interactions with people, you're just being yourself. You know, it's regular. But like on a day like that, and you start getting all these different types of people wishing you a happy birthday, you start realizing how much of an impact I guess you really have, or how important you really are to people. I'm just like, man, bro, like there were like Vance came through, and you know he's like never really comments on other people's stuff. Another myth. Shout out my boy Vance. Like I said, Lamar hit me up and he DM'd me.
Dang, you got two legends hitting you up on your birthday, bro.
Yeah, bro, from everyone.
Dude,
I got to
give
the
trifecta. Did Will Bain, shout out Will Bain? Did he hit
He
you?
liked the picture. He liked the picture
counts.
but didn't comment.
That
so
counts.
it's like, yeah, that's
you
still
got
a shout out in a way.
Bro.
I did,
that's
bro.
That's the trifecta of myths.
Amongst our circle, yeah. Nah, honestly, bro, I need to shout her out because this one, like,
Who?
I was legitimately shocked.
Oh.
There's this girl I work with at Loomis. Her name's Shayna Mosby. She's never going to hear this.
Yeah.
But we were cool at Loomis. We've been IG friends for 3 years. She's never liked the post, commented the post, never viewed my story, but commented happy birthday with the emoji. And I was like, I had to look double check. I was like, yo, Shayna? I was like, yo. When Shayna came through to drop that comment, it's like, this just topped everything, bro.
You got mad clout, man.
25. I had like 25 people hit me up. A bunch of people liked the picture. It was just like, man, my heart was full on that day, bro.
That's what's up.
It made me feel amazing, and that's just like, I don't know, man. It's like to some people, it's just like a little comment doesn't really mean that much. But I have a great memory. I remember everything, and it's just like, I'm like, that really meant a lot to me, man. It's like I feel like at this age, like getting comments from those people, getting that type of love means more than any gift I could get or anything like that. Because it's like, it shows that people really rock with you,
it's
bro.
It's just appreciation.
Yeah, and that really meant a lot to me. So I was feeling really good about everything. But then when I say tumultuous week, it's like I'm on this like high, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because everything that was going on, I'm like, I'm 29, let's start the year off right. And then a couple days later, my grandma passed away. And I'm not, I'm not trying to make the whole vibe of this like grim or anything like that, because I want to celebrate her life more so. But just to speak on it for a little bit, because it has been, that was an important moment that happened. So my grandma from my mom's side passed away, and she lived in Guatemala. And I didn't know her that well. I'm not going to front. I've been to Guatemala 6 times in my life. the first 2 times I was a baby and I was 3 years old, so I don't really remember those moments too well.
Of course.
Sometimes I'll look at pictures and they may trigger something, but
Mm-hmm.
I went when I was, the first time I really remember going was 2003. I was 12 years old,
Cool.
and I was an asshole. At that age, bro, I hate the middle school version of myself. I think we all kind of do in some type of way, but like I could blame it on puberty, but it was just like, I think it's just like that's the age where you just want to be accepted by your friends. You want to be cool, so you're disrespectful to people.
Be cool.
Just, I would, bro, if I could go back and smack the taste out of my mouth of my 12-year-old self, I most definitely would. I feel like I would, if I met myself at that age now, I would probably be like, yo, spoiled ass, like bratty ass, like asshole, you know what I'm saying?
Fucking curb stomp you.
Yeah, bro. that dude needed to get slapped in order to like really understand and see some things right. But when I went in 2003, I felt like I don't know, obviously I was going to get accepted by my family because I'm not from there and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like even though they would never say it, I feel like their impression of me might not have been seen that positive, just because it's like, whoa. Just because I feel like I didn't appreciate the culture as much. So I'm glad I didn't go again until 2014, now being 23 years old. And I felt like it was at that point in time that I really fully started embracing my culture way more. You know, being younger, when I was 12 years old, from when you're you know, you're trying to be accepted by everyone, you're trying to be cool. It's like being like from like what are you? What's your culture, whatever? Like Guatemalan, like no one's from Guatemala around here.
Yeah, like
it's
no one knew what your background was until like maybe 3 years ago.
Well, it was a little bit further than that. I think it was like I said, I've really started fully embracing it like 5
You're
6 years
just
ago.
doing it as like a troll by not telling anybody what you were.
True. But like when I was younger, like, you know, being 12 years old, being around everyone, it's like, and this is still kind of I'm not even gonna say an issue, but a stereotypical thing. When you view Hispanics, at least around this area, everyone automatically assumes you're either Puerto Rican or you're Mexican or Dominican. And it's like, of the three, like no other culture exists. So when you say something like, oh, I'm Guatemalan, or like Ralph, he's Nica, right? Nicaraguan, I believe.
I'm not gonna speak on that because like I don't want to make him mad.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect Ralph. I want to say
we love you, Ralph, but we can't remember what you.
I want to say Nica. I'm pretty sure that's what it's
not Peruvian.
I don't think so.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm sorry, Ralph.
I think he's Nica. Shout out our
I love
Ralph,
you, Ralph.
You're
gonna come on the podcast one day.
Yeah, yes, sir. But it was kind of like one of them things where it's like, okay, like it's just such a foreign like thing to like younger kids. It's like you kind of don't want.
You don't think about South America.
Yeah. Well, that's even Central America, like Guatemala,
okay,
Central America. So it's like you kind of just be like, nah, I'm not. You know, you don't want to. I don't know. It's like it was hard if you're not a natural born leader. And I talked about this on the last episode a little bit. It's like you kind of fall into the background. You just want to be accepted. You don't want to be made fun of. So you don't embrace your culture as much. And that's something that I really wish I could go back and change. Because ever since I went in 2014, bro, it was a whole nother eye-opening experience for me. And it's like I love Guatemala so much and the culture and everything that exists over there. And when I went in 2014, a lot of the people that I met, a lot of my family members who I met the first time, because my mom's whole side of the family is over there.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was able to show them a more mature version of myself and to really let them know how much I did appreciate them and my culture and my roots and all that stuff. And then all my cousins, meeting them and everything. It's really beautiful over there. A lot of people, like Guatemala is a third world country. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people, when they think about it, up until recently, like Sway Lee even shouted out in the song Guatemala. And that was honestly the first.
Yeah, that's probably like the only
the first mainstream
huge,
reference
like,
I've heard.
Like huge shout out.
To Guatemala.
Yeah.
But it really is a beautiful country. There's so much over there.
Yeah, the video, they shot it over there.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Beautiful. I can go on and on talking about it, but pretty much my grandma lived over there with my mom's whole side of the family. I never grew up with a lot of family around here, man. And that's kind of something that's always kind of like, I guess I've been sad about. Mm-hmm. Or it's like, when I really think about it, I mean, I've learned to live with it. But both my parents are from Guatemala. My dad and his whole side of the family ended up moving over here, South Jersey. But my mom's whole side of the family stayed over there. And that's like where the big family is. Mm-hmm. So growing up, a lot of times it was just, if it wasn't like my friends, it was just me and my brother. Like I don't really have stories about like, yeah, me and my cousins used to do this together, because I was always the oldest cousin by a significant margin.
Not even like your dad's side.
Well, my dad has like, I'm the oldest cousin of everyone here.
Oh, so even your dad's side too.
Yeah, well, my mom's side, I have all cousins around.
Yeah, I know
age.
you have a ton over there.
Yeah, but over
like
here on my dad's side, yeah,
cousins.
I'm the oldest one. My brother is the second oldest one,
Oh, wow.
and me and my brother have a 5.5, 6 year difference between us.
Wow.
And then it's like everyone else kind of came afterwards. So I love my cousins, but it's like, you know, we didn't grow up at the same
Zoomers.
time. Yeah, so I never really had that, and sometimes I really wish that I did, but like most.
No, yeah, because I mean, not to cut you off, but
Yeah, no.
like having those memories of like with your cousin, like I kind of brought that up
In the Let's Plays and
in
stuff,
our Let's
right?
Plays, of Streets of Rage. Like I have so many memories of like playing with, you know, toys and video games more specifically with like just cousins on both sides, you know,
Right.
my mom's side and my dad's side. You know, it is it does suck like hearing you like say all this. Like it is sad that like you weren't able to like really experience like a cousin that's like kind of in your age range.
Right.
I mean, you just have your brother. I mean, because excuse me, when it comes to like my actual siblings, we're literally all three generations. Like my brother, he's 9 years older than me, and then there's me, and then there's my younger sister who's 8 years younger than me. So it's like we're literally
super spread apart.
Three different generations. Like that's X. Technically, I'm millennial, and then like my sister's iGen or Generation Z, whatever they want to call them nowadays. But no, yeah, I totally feel what you're saying. That does suck. You don't have like a lot of memories with like, you know, cousins close to your age.
Yeah, and it's like my cousin Sergi is like, him and my brother were closer in age, so they actually like, even though I would hang out with them when they were around, like they really grew up together because they were around the same grade. They related on a lot of different things, and then everyone else after that is just significantly younger. And it sucked for me too, because like when I was younger, even though I'm like way past it now, I used to have bad social anxiety. And it's like, I know that in these days it's easy for everyone to be like, oh, I have some type of anxiety. And it's like, I'm appreciative of the fact that mental health has gotten on a platform where people are okay to talk about it. But then there are also those people, it's like now all of a sudden everyone has anxiety or everyone wants to say that they do. And that's not to like diminish anything.
No,
but I'm just saying like, for me, it's like, I like at one point, I'm not going to say I have it now, but like when I was younger, I genuinely had it. Like I would get scared to talk to people sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's something that you really had to,
yeah.
I never saw it.
You had to grow up out of.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, like I totally understand what you're saying about, the whole mental health, and this could be a totally
I'm not trying to go
episode.
Too far off
no,
this,
it's just like as a like I felt like I was one of those people like, oh man, I have like anxiety and stuff like that. Like I need to, I don't know what to do with myself up until like I confirmed it, not even just with myself, but like with a therapist, like talking it out. And yeah, dude, it is crazy to hear that like you just and it's our generation. I mean, I feel like our generation goes to therapy the most. Anyone, yeah, dude, anxiety is just crazy. Like you just hear everyone having anxiety is because there's so many different forms of it, and it's just like you can't always be like, that's not anxiety. That's just not your form of anxiety. But like everyone has their own version of how it affects their day-to-day living. And I mean, I know that I have mine. And it's stuff that I just worked through, but that's something that you just definitely had to grow out of, like the social anxiety.
For sure, bro. Like, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not here to diminish anyone else's issues, but because like
you're just
this is something that I was dealing with, like, because how it's always been for me was like I was always quiet and kind of shy, but like when then I found my friends, I would do whatever. Like we were up there, it's like everything is good. Yeah. But around that time, like around 2003, when I went to Guatemala the first time and going into high school, something happened where it's just like. I was more so like a loner in a way. I just had a hard time making friends. Even my parents would tell me like, you need to go like see a psychiatrist or whatever. I never saw it. I never did it. Mm-hmm. And I was able to work out of it on my own. Cause I think it was more so a mental block than anything. Yeah. But I'm not one to say like, honestly, bro, like I feel like I have a good life. Like I don't deal with anxiety now. Knock on wood. I hope I won't ever have to deal with it. But it's just like, I'm very, pretty, I don't want to go like too far left, but going back to the cousin thing, it's like around that time it would have been nice had I had more people around. But yeah, so like I started going to Guatemala more frequently. I go every 2 years, just in love with the culture, everything like that. But yeah, that while I was over there, I've gotten to be close with a lot of my cousins there, which has been super dope. But like my grandma, me and her are just from two completely different
Worlds.
Yeah, worlds.
Yeah.
And I feel like if she would have, she was very religious, like kind of like what you were saying with your neighbor downstairs.
Yeah.
Like when I would go over there and sleep in her house, I would wake up accidentally at like 4 in the morning, just because she would be listening to like the sermon on the radio or something like that.
Yeah.
Just super religious, super close to God. But it's like in her eyes, since I was like the grandson who was never around, it's like I could do no wrong in her eyes, you know.
True, because she like just loved to see you.
Yeah, it was such a rare sight. But like, had she known me on like a day-to-day basis, I don't know if she would approve of the whole hip hop culture and just things I do or whatever. It's just more traditionalist, more strict over there. But yeah, man, going back to the original point, what I was saying is that yeah, she lived over there. She was 79 years old, and honestly was doing okay, you know, really like still communicating and everything.
Yeah.
But she ended up falling down outside. And when you're 79 years old, you already have a lot of wear on your bones, on your body. And that could be, and it proved to be just a devastating injury, because she needed surgery after that. And there were complications to the surgery. And then also it's like going through something like that can really, especially being that old, you might not walk again. It's not like, you know, like if you get hurt, if me and you were to get hurt now, we would go through rehab, but we know we'd be okay.
And then it's like medicine is different in both, you know.
Yeah, bro.
So
it's
unfortunate.
It's just a lot, but it got to a point where it seemed like things weren't looking that good. And I guess that is one thing I can take solace in, is the fact that at least my family was able to prepare for it, because I guess it was like the writing was on the wall. But it still sucks though, man. And like I said, I wasn't that close to her. But really, I think what's affecting me the most about this is my mom. Yeah. You know, and like I said, I'm not trying to get overly deep with it, but it's like being a grown man. I mean, every time you see your mom cry, especially my mom, like I was telling you off air, very strong. Mm-hmm. My mom would always be the one to tell me to stop crying. I was always the emotional one. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would be the one to just like break down. My mom would tell me like, bro, this is like kind of like the realest thing that I've ever heard. At least it's up there.
Not from
I remember,
me.
Huh?
Not from me. No, I'm kidding.
But you do give me some real shit.
Dude,
but,
I forget some of the shit I say. But
my mom, I remember when me and my ex had broken up, or this is like we were on and again, off again, but this is the first time we broke up.
This is like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first time we broke up, and you know we weren't talking. I was heartbroken, like I was hurt, and I remember I was crying in the living room, and my mom comes up to me and she's like, look, I understand you're sad. I understand what you're going through. Like, I know it sucks, but she's like, but you're my son, so I don't cry. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, look at me. She's like, I left my whole family in Guatemala to come over here. I'm in a whole nother country. My parents aren't here. My sisters, no one is here. And she's like, and I didn't cry. So what you crying over this girl for? Damn, bro.
Yo, I love your mom, bro.
Saying that kind of got me choked up a little, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, you
good,
man,
bro. Don't cry.
No cry.
Don't cry with no girls, man.
Nah, bro, but like when my mom,
but that's real shit.
When my mom told me that, it's like at the time I was upset and sad and all that.
Yeah.
But like when I really go back and think about it, I'm like, yo, that's probably the most OG shit that anybody has ever said to me.
That's the realest thing you could say.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's just like, so that right there gives you a character of how my mom is. Like, me and my mom, like, we argue all the time with all that stuff, but like she's never been like overly emotional. So when I saw her vulnerable and in tears, it's like, man, seeing that as like as a kid I would have been upset, but seeing that as a grown man and seeing your mom, who's your everything, sitting there just upset, is like, I wish that there was, I wish I could take it away, but I can't. There was nothing I could do other than just sit there and like console her.
Just try to support, and that's all you can do. I mean, because this is just life in general. Like, you just can't stop shit like this from happening. You can't make it better. It's just all about how the person deals with it internally, and how they're gonna manage to progress with the feelings of it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been like a hard situation to deal with. But my mom's a fighter, bro. Yeah. Like she's already like, just like telling me like that's how life is. You gotta just get good with God. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that she's going through it, and it's like, I don't know, man. It just sucks. Like, I never really had to deal with this before. Like, as far as having like a close family member pass, and just seeing.
Was this like your first like immediate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
And it's like, I've been fortunate enough that like throughout my life things have just been. Like,
okay.
Yeah, they've been good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
good,
saying?
yeah.
And I pray all the time. That's the first thing I do when I wake up, is just asking for, protection for everyone, my family, my friends, everybody.
That's really admirable of you. Because I mean, I know I'm not the religious type, and
I wouldn't say I'm religious, bro, but I'm definitely.
But it's definitely believing in like.
I'm definitely good with God, bro. I
Yeah.
talk to Him all the time.
Exactly.
That's actually the first thing I do when I wake up. Like,
that's what's up.
And if I know my friends are going through something, I'll specifically single them out. Like, look out for. I do this a lot, man, because I don't want anyone around me to suffer. Yeah, when I think of life, it should just be like, yo, I understand that we all go through ups and downs, but it's like, I want us to be happy. I want the people I'm around to be good. Like, if I see you upset, I feel like it's just in me sometimes to just be like, yo, like, man, come on, bro. Like, let's, don't worry about it, whatever. But yeah, man, I think it's just been like, I have all this. For my mom especially, it's like, this is my birthday, and then a couple of days later this happens, then it's right before Mother's Day, so it's like...
I mean, that's usually how life likes to fucking slap you in the face.
It's all over the place, man, but,
But I mean...
But, what I'm saying? It's like, I understand what it is, and, I know the legacy. I know, like... So for me, when I deal with anything, like, personally, whether it be heartbreak or whatever, anytime something bad happens...
Loss,
it's like my instinct automatically... is to just go hard. You know what I'm saying? It makes me want to just be like, all right, I got
crank it up a little bit more. Yeah.
And that's my mentality, like, most of the time anyway. Like, that's where the name Zero comes from, is about, like, that whole underdog mentality, the chip on your shoulder type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, whenever something like this happens, or something that makes you feel upset or sad happens, it's almost like that puts a battery in you, and it's like, all right, let's go. I'm going to go even harder for my family, for my culture, all of that. So that's kind of like what I'm viewing this as. It's like, all right, my mom has done all this, my grandma did all this, so it's like, yo, I gotta keep it going. Like, it's no time for me to just like sit around and, I mean, you give yourself time to get yourself right, but it's kind of like, for me, it's like, okay, man, I got us. Like, that's what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the mentality right now. But I just wanted to, I know I've been like going on a whole soliloquy, but like, this is kind of just to give the proper respect to my family legacy, and to my grandma.
Dedication to your grandmother.
And to my mom, man.
Yeah.
Which leads into
Mother's Day. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the strong, independent mothers, whether you're, single mom in it, or you have your significant other raising your kids. Shout out to all these strong moms out there. I know I got a strong mom, and I know whoever's listening probably has a strong mom too. But I mean, it's just crazy on like how much you never really think about like what a mother goes through. Like everyone knows that, like, they bear a child, they have, then they have the child, and that's already as fucking strenuous as it is on their body as it is. But then it's just like the whole raising process. They have a whole other side of how we all get raised as people. And people don't, like, some people just don't think about it because it's just there and not really talked about. But yeah, dude, like, I love my mom to death. I mean, she's just been through a shit ton that I told you off air. But I mean, she fucking powered through that shit, and I'm just like, fucking, yo, man. Oh, that's that. You got that Guatemalan blood. Oh yeah, because you're pure Guatemalan,
yes,
man.
Sir,
yeah, I got this fucking. I'm a Harry Potter reference. This mud blood over here, bro. I got, because I'm Puerto Rican and then Filipino. And then if my mother was to talk to you, she'd be like, yeah, you're like Haitian and Japanese. And I'm like, Mom, stop it. Just, all right, stop.
That's like something that everyone says to make themselves sound cooler, bro. Like,
bro, I don't. If I wanted to really sound cool, I could definitely bring up the Japanese.
If you were to,
dude.
Bro, if you were to tell anyone that, like, yo, what are you? Like, man, I'm Puerto Rican, Filipino, Japanese and Haitian.
Fucking.
Oh, that's instant, bro.
Like, what? Like, how? Like, nah.
That is the definition of just culture.
It's just, for me, it's, I wish it was easy as just, both parents from Guatemala. It's my dad, 100% Puerto Rican. Both parents from the island of Puerto Rico. Shout out Puerto Rico. And then my mom, that's where it gets a little muddy. My grandmother, her mom, excuse me. Well, that probably came on the mic. That definitely got picked up.
It's all good.
My grandmother, straight from the islands of the Philippines. So that puts in that quarter of Filipino. And then my grandfather, that's where he has like, well, actually it's my grandmother too, but my grandfather, he has like a mix of like, I think like Haitian or something that I've been told. But I mean, no disrespect to him, like he just looked like a black guy. Like that's what it was. So it's like if I was to tell somebody, oh, I'm Puerto Rican, Filipino, I'm black. Like I can say that too.
Right.
But then I can just be like, oh, like I'm also Japanese, because like my mom once said to me, and I don't know how accurate this is, unless I was to do like a 23andMe, which I was
just about to ask you.
I'm never gonna do.
You've never thought about doing that?
I'm on that conspiracy side of like the government's gonna take your DNA and then like do what they need to do with it. But yeah, my mom's like, yeah, your grandmother's grandfather, so what, like my great grandfather or some shit like that, was from like Okinawa or some shit like that. I'm like, what? And I'm just like, I'm just leaving it as Puerto Rican and Filipino. And when I say that to people, they're like, oh, I just thought you're black. Because,
yes.
I mean,
you have the appearance
of just a black guy. Just a black guy. Yeah. There were some people who were like, no, I can see the mix. I'm like, shut up. You just know my last name. That's why you know that, oh, he got to be Spanish and something else. Because once you hear Justin, I'm not even going to drop my last name.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, it's just known. J-Rod, duh.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my last name is just a clear cut. Like, okay, he's Spanish and black. But then when I throw in, oh, I'm Filipino, they're like, oh. And then it's just, it's funny,
It's like that fusion though, because
it's one of the weirdest fusions. Well, not weird, but it's just one of a unique fusion. I mean, I don't know anyone else with a Filipino.
The thing is though, like you don't really have any. Just like if I looked at you,
no,
you don't have the features of like a Filipino.
All
person.
of the features are just like mixed in, because it's like some people say that like my eyes like look chinky sometimes, and I'm like, no. For if anything, your eyes look chinky.
Well, the thing is, in Guatemala, like with the Mayan civilization, like in that general area, they said that's pretty. Some people will say that it's just like Spanish Asians or whatever. That was like a feature. And
that's the funny thing with Filipinos. Like Filipinos, like this funny comedian Joe Coy. He's always, because he's Filipino. He's always making fun of Filipinos and like how they, how their culture is and shit. The Philippines were dominated by Spain at one point. Well, for a long ass time. I don't know the exact amount of time, but they have Spanish. Like a lot of Filipinos have like Spanish, like real Spanish last names, like Gonzalez or what did he say? Oh my God, I'm thinking of like
Santiago,
some stuff like that, like stuff from like Spain.
Cruz,
yeah, like Cruz.
Cortez, Ortiz.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not gonna go into it because I could be offending a bunch of different Spanish people. But
no, there is no offense intended.
And the Philippines, geographically, they're right in between Asia and Japan. Yeah. Well, it's an Asian country, island.
It is.
Yeah. So it's like it's literally a mix of Spanish and Asian people, and it's just weird how I have like a double dose of like Spanish mix and then like the Asian mix and whatever else I have in my blood. I might get it done one day. I don't really care about the believing in that. Oh, they're gonna take my information. I do want to do it just to find out.
See, I feel like with you though,
I am curious.
I feel like with you, it would definitely be
wild,
something that you should look into. Just because if your mom's telling you that that you have all these other like cultures and bloodlines,
Jesus.
To actually get a full breakdown would be really dope. You remember when George Lopez had his talk show on like TBS or whatever, like a decade ago?
Yeah, I think so.
One of his biggest things was he would bring guests on the show and do that whole ancestry breakdown. I don't know if it was 23andMe or if it was something else.
It's probably Ancestry.
Yeah, Ancestry. And like he had Snoop come on. He had Snoop and Charles Barkley come on. And they both got their...
I think you meant like Gnarls Barkley.
Charles Barkley. And like they had a whole breakdown that turns out that like Chuck had more African blood in him than Snoop, and he was like, they were both on, and Snoop was like, oh no, and Chuck's like, it's like, yeah, Snoop, you whitey. But it turns out, because it's like, it would say like percent of Eastern European, which would be white, percent of like native blood, so like the Native
do you
American.
mean Western European?
Yeah, wait.
Like British, like English and stuff like that?
I mean, Europe is Europe. I guess so.
From what I was saying earlier, Eastern European is like Russia.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it was Western.
Yeah, okay.
But then they have like pretty much like
the geographic and
white, black, native, Asian, things like that, and it would tell you what percentage you were of everyone. I always thought that was pretty cool, because some people were finding out that they were like, they had more like native blood in them that they thought they would. They'd have some, like Snoop had a bit large amount of Native American blood in him. Yeah,
definitely makes sense.
I think that you should try it at some point.
No, I thought about it in the past like few years. My mom got it done, but I might do it, because I know that 50% is locked. This was locked. Both grandparents from the island of Puerto Rico, and but when it comes to my mom's side, that's where it's just like the melting pot just begins, dude. It's very interesting. I love both of my heritages and whatever else I might be, but I do love to, I love to speak out for my Filipino and like Puerto Rican side. Yeah, because it's very unique. I love that.
So, do you ever keep up with like what's going on in like Puerto Rico?
I mean, I remember. I know that like
there was like the giant hurricane or something.
Well, yeah, there was a hurricane that hit, I think, almost 2 years now. 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, almost.
Yeah, it was almost 3.
Yeah, like I was very worried about my grandfather, but luckily he was in a part.
That's in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico. He's in Aguadilla, and where his house is, because I visited him once. It's like very high up. It's kind of like a mountainous area, and he has like a cinder block, like huge house. And I was asking my dad, because my dad was like in contact with him every day, making sure everything was cool. He had like supplies and whatnot. He was good. He survived. I mean, he's still alive. And then like he was just lucky that like where his house is located and that's what his house is made of, that like he was able to like, he managed to like get through that hurricane like kind of unscathed. Yeah, he had like a supplies issue like everyone else in the entire island of Puerto Rico had, and like electricity issues and whatnot. But my grandpa has a pretty dope house. Never been to the Philippines though. I do want to go. My mom's always screaming at me to go. I know I need to make it over there one day. Hopefully, once this is all over, I need to get over there. Maybe ticket sales are really low.
Yeah,
ticket prices are really low.
I think that would be really dope, because especially like, I know for me, like I was touched on earlier, going to Guatemala, like I said, at age 23 was completely different than going at age 12, because I wasn't a kid anymore, and I was, more mature and more intact with everything. One of the reasons why I'm so like enamored with the country, I don't think I could live there, because I'm just so used to life over here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for someone to go legit backwards.
Yeah, it's like normally when me and my mom go, we'll go for like 2 weeks, and I do start getting homesick after like 10 or 11 days. You just want to sleep in your own bed again, just be around the norm, what you're used to. But over there, the culture is very different. So how it is for me, my family over in Guatemala, there are really 2 main areas. At least that's how I separate it. Because there's Guatemala City, which is probably what we're more accustomed to. There are a few differences though. So you know how like over here, like I'm in Pensacola, but then as I'm driving, it just transitions into Camden or transitions into Cherry Hill or wherever. Over there, in like the Guatemala City area, the suburban residential areas are kind of like blocked. They're like these giant walls, and they're kind of separated into their own thing. So it's like the major roads is like where the malls and the movie theater, all that stuff is at. So like if you're around here, like Route 70, 73, 130, the major roads, those are open to everywhere. But then like once you go into the residential areas,
dirt roads, they
have like they have like just these giant walls. So it's like, like in your apartment complex right now, right? Yeah. So this would be a whole complex. But like how like right now I just drove in here and came to see you.
Yeah.
Over there, it would be like there would be security with like giant walls like barriered around this whole area, and I would have to have
gated community.
Gated pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's like I would have to have like a swipe or something.
Gated community. Yeah.
And if I didn't have one of those, they would have to tell security like I'm here to see so and so, and they would call you.
Yeah, authorize if you can come up. Yeah.
Because it's like they over there is like they just don't want people to invade. It's a lot of it's different over there. And then like once you're in that little gated community section, it's like you have corner stores, you have like some local food places. They're like armed. They sit there with rifles. They have people security like standing outside with rifles in certain areas. But then like once you're outside of that area, you can go to like the mall or the movies or whatever. The other main portion, that's where most of my family stays, where my grandma stays and all that. It's called El Sitio, which translates to like the point or the place.
Hell yeah.
But in El Sitio, it's just very different. Like when people think of third world, that's probably what they think of. That's where it's like dirt roads. That's where there's no like Wi-Fi. There's none of that stuff over there. People build their houses, like they get the clay or whatever. They build it themselves.
Old school.
There's no AC. There's no heat.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you buy fans or whatever, but it's like if it's warm outside, that's what it's gonna be like in the house. But over there, it never really gets cold anyway. Because in the wintertime, it's like 70 degrees.
Jeez.
But yeah, bro, it's like that's what honestly a lot of people wouldn't like it over there, I guess, because it's so different, like no technology and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like
for a Western culture for someone from the Western culture to go over there, it's a completely different,
it's a culture shock. I would say to a lot of people.
Completely different experience.
I find peace in it because it's like sometimes there's like certain peace, bro. Not having to view your phone or worry about being on your phone. Over there, what you do for fun, I mean, like, you've seen some of the pics I posted on IG in the past.
Go outside.
It's like, you climb volcanoes and you climb mountains, and that's what you do for fun. And it's like the scenery is gorgeous. It looks beautiful. Like it looks photoshopped almost in a way.
Yeah.
But you go over there, and I just draw inspiration from there because that's like, that humbles you. Like my cousin over there, shout out my cousin Nilsson, I remember when I went over there a couple years ago, like 4 years ago now, and his girl was pregnant with his child, and he takes me to like the spot that he was living at, and Nilsson's always been extremely smart, but like he would go around and like find like old fans or computers or washing machines and like wire that up, but like I saw what he had, and it's like he took so much pride in just having like these few little luxuries that like I probably have in my room. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like damn, man, like that really humbles you in that sense. It's like I need
the perspectives are crazy.
Exactly. That's the perfect word to use it. The perspectives, and it's just like being around that. Every time I leave Guatemala or I take the trip there, I always come back with a certain type of feeling, a certain type of humbleness, and also a certain type of pride. And I always like kind of told myself, especially like the last few years, if I ever somehow were to make it big or get a ton of money, I would definitely want to do a lot to help out my family and also help out, like bring more awareness to what's going on over there, because it doesn't get the recognition it deserves. And like I'll say this for example, like this is actually pretty cool. So like one of the things that they do over there that's just common that would never be done over here, it's like if someone has a pickup truck, you go on the truck, like you travel on the truck bed, and that would be like their school buses. Over there, like you'd have 20 kids on the truck bed just sitting there as they would drive. You have like 12-year-olds driving cars and motorcycles out there. They teach themselves how to drive. There's like, it's almost like no law in a certain type of way, at least in that area. Like, of course they have like their little marketplace or whatever too, but it's just like anyone who just lives their day-to-day lives over here and then were to go over there, it would be completely different and just like berserk to see how different the lifestyle is. But with you saying you want to go to the Philippines, like that right there is a culture that's extremely just different area. I feel like you would really like it.
Yeah. Oh no, I would. Dude, I know that I would love the Philippines. I mean, my closest experience to what you experienced in Guatemala was Colombia, and I mean, yeah, I have stories for days for Colombia. I mean, but they're probably gonna be in the vault forever. Maybe, I don't know.
We got all types of stories on the show from G-rated all the way to
PG-13.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Colombia was amazing. I would definitely go back. My boy Dysart said that it was called the city. Well, I was in Medellin. I was in an Airbnb in Antigua. What they call it, the the city of eternal spring, and I was like, what?
That's a beautiful name,
Dude. And that's what it felt like. It felt like late spring when it was like kind of getting hot.
That just sounds, bro. Just sounds like paradise.
It was. Oh my god, I can't explain how much it was, dude. Yes, it was. I just did some ASMR right there, but yeah, Colombia was. It was a dope experience, dope weather, dope people, just amazing all around. But like, yeah, experiencing like the life that people experience on a day-to-day basis when we would go into the city and just hit up restaurants and bars and like just even go shopping. Like, it was just a whole nother experience, and it was just so. It's very humbling because like a lot of people don't really. Oh, a lot of people take for granted what we have over here. And I mean, in my own opinion, the United States, we're just a bunch of stuck-up fucks. And we take everything for granted. We have, some of the best technologies in the world. And we don't give a shit about, what anyone else has. But yeah, going over there and like, there wasn't Wi-Fi everywhere. You had to look for it. You had to walk everywhere. I mean, you didn't have Uber, you didn't have Lyft. You had to call cabs and figure out, and know basic Spanish. And yeah, it was an all around just an amazing experience. I would definitely go back. Like shit, I would go back next year, same time, February. I would go again. I would go to the same places, just stay somewhere different. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, and everyone should experience I'm not going to say like a less fortunate company, but a different country that doesn't have all of the same luxuries as the United States. And I mean, everyone should experience that to kind of get, to get a good perspective of what you have when you come back to the States.
Nah, for real, bro. Like for me, I've always tried to keep that mind frame anyway. That on a day to day, like I don't want handouts. We talked about this before.
You gotta earn that shit.
Yeah, I want everything to be earned. Like always just being a slow grind and whatnot. But after experiencing like that, going to Guatemala and whatnot, and seeing like my cousin be so happy over these like few things.
Over something you'd be like, what?
Yeah, over like trash to some people.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, that would be trash.
And I'm just like, yo, I need to do better in life and whatnot. But like, the other thing is over there too. Like, I didn't realize how big of a country it actually was, because the last couple times I went, my cousin, shout out my cousin Ale. She's been like, she's like the standard bearer for my family too, bro. Like, she became an engineer, has a good ass job, travels everywhere.
That's dope.
Which kind of like, shout out to her, but like all the other cousins, including myself, it sucks for us because my mom and my aunts, everyone looks at the rest of us like we're just a bunch of bums. Like, look at what Ali's doing. Like, she did this. Like,
bunch of privilege.
But yeah, man, like. So she's been taking us to like these different areas. Like, there's a place called Puerto Barrios that I went to last time, and that's kind of like its own little island resort or whatever. It took like 6 hours to drive there from Guatemala.
Yeah, that's another thing,
I'm
dude.
Like, damn, bro, this is. Yeah. I knew this. I didn't know this country was this big, but it just goes to show like there's a whole world out there for you to experience and see outside of what we have. But kind of to go off what you were saying, I also feel like if you. Like, everyone has culture, everyone has roots, everyone has an origin story somewhere in this world. So I feel like it's definitely important to, whether you have Irish roots, whether you have Jamaican roots,
dude. Everyone has
African
some type
roots,
of roots, bro.
I feel like going back to your motherland, essentially,
just appreciating where it came from.
It gives you way deeper of appreciation for your culture.
Yeah.
So like if someone were to ask me, like, yo, what are you? Like, I'm Guatemalan. But then I can go in depth and talk about, like, what life is actually like, because I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it also, like I said, man, just, like, being in that different environment, sometimes sitting outside of my grandma's and my grandparents' house and, like, my feet on the dirt road and just looking at nothing but hills and maybe that occasional like stroller walking by,
bro.
that does something. That does something to you, and it's just like really dope.
Seeing scenery like that, it just blows your mind because we're always surrounded by buildings. I mean, where I live right now, I kind of have trees. There's a fucking horse ranch right there, but like, cool.
Smell it sometimes.
Whoop-de-doo. That's not actually. Side note: that's actually not like the horse shit. That's
the manure.
No, fertilizer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they put fertilizer here every spring. So I mean, there still might be like a hint of it around because there's like a bunch of mulch everywhere. Anyway, fuck, I forgot what I was saying now.
It was something related.
Damn it.
To experiencing your own culture.
No, I don't remember anymore. But yeah.
Oh, the outdoors. You said you have.
Oh yeah, like experiencing. Yeah, like seeing. Like mountainous, and, I've seen that in different parts of the United States. Like I've been to Colorado, and I stayed at this hotel that wasn't too far from the Rockies. So it's like I had a view from my hotel room of the Rockies, and it was gorgeous just to see natural, like beauty like that.
Nothing beats
stuff that the
bro.
earth makes. You know what I'm saying? Nothing man made like a buildings are cool. Like man made buildings are dope, but seeing like something that like the earth literally produced over the course of thousands of years, it's amazing. So it's like seeing the hills in Medellin, it was just fucking dope. Like we were in the mountains, but like there were still like miles and miles of like hills and mountains that we could look up at. And yeah, it was sick, dude.
That does something for your soul, man.
Yeah. It makes you appreciate like just the world a little bit more.
For sure.
Yeah, dude, our cultures in general, yeah, we have very beautiful cultures.
We do.
Guatemala, Puerto Rico, Filipino, just fuck it, Black, African American, I'm saying we all got beautiful cultures.
Bro, our podcast is for everybody. It's universal, but
it's for everybody.
For me, it's like I always take pride when it comes to like the cultural things.
You got to.
You got to do it. Like
you can't lose your
honestly, that's part of the reason why I love working at Toys R Us so much. There was a lot of culture in that store.
Oh yeah,
like
from every background.
And you could look at that and be like, oh, this is a store full of minorities, which is true as well. But it's just like I always just appreciated that, like just how much culture there was there and the different backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, you had someone from every type of background, ethnic. Background.
Rutgers too, to a greater extent. Rutgers Camden was extremely diverse. And
it
cultural.
was, but I ignored it. I ignored it because I just kept my head down and just did my work. I just wanted to fucking graduate. That's all I wanted to do.
See, man, I didn't have a car at the time, so I would take the bus over. Talk about humbling experiences,
bro. It was all about the
river line.
The river line, bro.
I remember I used to take the river line too, but that 404 bus, bro, that humbles you. Being in the especially in the wintertime, you're standing outside in 10-degree weather, and then the bus doesn't show up. Standing outside
for the river line, it doesn't show up. I know the exact same thing, man.
But it's like I was on campus all the time, bro. So I used to, over the course of 5 years, I've seen a lot and been around a lot of culture.
Yeah,
I was weird. I was in the Asian Culture Club for like 2 weeks 1 year. Just before you showed up.
Do you remember we were in the last?
Yes, I remember. I do remember that.
We were in LASO, the Latin American Student Organization, for like a week.
I think that was for an event though. I think it was
we went to a meeting.
But that wasn't a meeting, bro. That was an event.
It was a meeting because nothing happened. They went around the room and we just talked about our ethnic background.
That was an event, bro. That was not a meeting. It was a
meeting in my book, but
it was sponsored by LASO. It was
a LASO meeting.
That was actually really dope though. No, because it wasn't because there were black people and other cultures in there too. Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you,
the Latin American Student Organization wasn't just specifically for just Latin American people. I'm telling you,
that right there
was for anybody.
Yo,
there were white people in there.
Bro, I'm telling you, that was an event.
Whatever,
that wasn't a meeting.
It was a meeting.
That was an event.
Doesn't matter. It was a meeting.
The stuff that we talked about was like, it was like a workshop type of thing.
It was an introductory thing.
Bro, I'm telling you,
that's why it was a meeting.
I feel like we would have stayed in the club
No, we didn't stay in the club because I just didn't have any more interest in it.
I'm telling you, that was an event, bro.
It wasn't an event. Because what happened? Tell me how it was an event. Please explain to me.
Because we ended up going there, and then
we sat in a room.
We sat in a room, and then they pretty much we did
went around the class.
You remember? All right, so you remember how they had like stereotypes on the board, like black people, and everyone wrote like a stereotype of. Are we thinking of the same thing?
Probably not, dude.
Are you sure you went with me to this?
Probably not.
All right. So we're thinking of two different things.
Probably, dude. Because Lasso.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? Though?
No.
We went to an event together one time, and it was like on a nighttime, and we went into
this
room,
wasn't nighttime.
And so we're thinking of two different things.
Dude, because Lasso was. We all got in a room. There was no type of event type of feel to it. It was like, oh, let's meet up for this start of the year meeting for Lasso, where we all sat in a fucking room and they went around the they went around the group and you just got to explain what your background was. And you could have been white, black, or whatever. And that was it. There was no like, oh, there's like food in here and shit. Like, no, it was just all right. Well, it was an introductory thing. That's why it was a meeting. Whatever you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember that when we went to that though? There was like a thing. It was like a bunch of us, and we had like the chairs built around a circle, and then we talked about like what different stereotypes were for every single culture, and then everyone talked about their culture a little bit, and then like experiences they've had with like prejudice and all that. It was like a 2-hour event.
Nope.
It was dope.
Sounds like a meeting, though.
It was an event, bro. It was an event.
That literally sounds like because how is that an event where you just talk about? Because that sounds like a meeting.
No, because Rutgers Camden would do this like it was more so like open discussions or like group discussions.
Or like a meeting.
Because that's the whole thing that we talked about.
Or like a meeting.
No, it was an event.
An event usually is like something is offered to you. Like, come to this event to experience. Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
What was the experience? What was offered to you guys?
We were offered a glimpse into different cultures and perspectives of other people talking about their cultures.
Sounds like a meeting.
And I think there was food too.
Bullshit. Well, not for that.
They'd always have those like little sandwiches and stuff which I was always like, you remember that?
Yeah, I used to eat those all the fucking time.
Yeah, they'd have all those little sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah,
What's our time right now?
It's 1:10. Hour and 10 minutes. I mean, we got a little bit of time. I never really want to go over. Yeah, I know this is kind of like talking like through the behind the scenes of Past the Vibes podcast. Yeah, I never really want to go over an hour and a half because I mean, number one, it just takes too long to export and upload. But we don't really an hour. Everything that the meat of the podcast, you went through in about an hour. Yeah, everything that we're talking about now, it's been the past like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought again.
What, you talking about the sandwiches?
Yeah, the sandwiches. There was like a little story of shout out my man Tim Flynn. He made the funniest first impression on me at Rutgers, where it was like a culture event, where everyone got into the auditorium and they had different culture foods. So they had like gumbo, they had like fried chicken and all this other shit, like Spanish rice and whatnot. And
when did this take place? This is like the start of the school year?
13, 14 maybe.
But like what month? Like around what time period?
I can never, dude. My 4 years at Rutgers is one big blur. So I can never tell you the month. I can tell you the year. It was probably 2013.
Okay.
But yeah, he made the funniest impression. This is why I love this guy. He's fucking hysterical. Shout out Tim. It was me, Princey. I don't think you were there. And then I met Tim for the first time. And we got food from the culture event where they were, showcasing all of like the different types of food that different cultures offer.
Yeah.
And we came back. We all had like different types, fucking collard greens. We had spinach. Stupid! Oh my God. Collard greens has spinach in it. Stupid. Collard greens, like fried chicken. We had gumbo. There's all this like, Spanish rice, all this other shit I just said. And we all sit back down in like the lobby area. And then he starts... let me get my breath. He just starts going, because Tim.
Yeah.
He starts going into he starts making this let's say Southern accent, maybe like a Louisiana accent.
I think I remember this story. I heard.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, man, I was in the line getting some chicken. He was like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking in this accent. and he's like this giant white guy. Like he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
And he's just making this. He's just talking in like a like a Cajun accent and talking about like the different foods. You know, oh man, I'm gonna get me some chicken, and I'm just like, oh my god. I was like, who are you, dude? Friends ever since. I love Tim. Like Tim keeps it real. He's one of the most 100 people I've ever seen. Like 100% real people. Like he doesn't shy away from who he is. But like that story always sticks with me. I fucking love Tim. Tim Flynn. I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe after this. But yeah, I just had to say that story because we were talking about Rutgers. But yeah, dude.
Rutgers did have some good food every now and then.
Yes,
bro.
it did.
Like yeah, I do remember on like Black History Month, they'd always have a whole spread. For Latin History Month, they'd have a whole spread. What you looking at me like that for?
Like, oh, what they have?
Oh, no, like nah, yo, all right. So just like you had your story, I'll always remember this story. I think you were with me too. This was like I remember it was me, you, Amar. I think Princey was there too. We were all in the campus center.
Yeah.
And in the multi-purpose room, right next to like the impact booth in the campus center. Yeah. So they were having the whole like Black History Month spread there. And we're all sitting there, and I think we were waiting for the line to die down to get some food. I remember there was this one dude, because he was in some of my classes too. He was like this older guy, probably like in his late 30s or whatever.
Yeah. Tall,
skinny, bald, black guy. His name was Paul Smalls. I'll always remember that name too, because it reminded me of Paul Wall.
Yeah, rhymes, yeah.
So he was sitting there, and
everybody getting grills.
And I remember one dude walked past him, and he's like, "Hey man, you gonna get some food from the spread?" And he's like, "Nah man, I'm all right." And he's like, "Yo," they got chicken. Bro, dude immediately stood up and like rushed to the front of the line. And me and the Marv looking at each other. We start cracking up. We're like, bro, this dude is just like living the stereotype right now with that right there.
Wait, he was black?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was white.
Nah.
Whoops.
Just like a tall black guy's like had no interest in the spread. But
Excuse me?
He's like, hey man, he's like, they got chicken. Bro, his eyes lit up, stood up and went to go get some food. And then we went ahead and got our food, but whenever they had like the special events, because they would have the sandwiches all the time.
All the time.
And I'm like, I kind of got tired of them. Of course, I would take them because they were free, but like.
Yeah, dude, college free food is the best.
But like once they had the actual food, like same thing with like Mardi Gras around that time, they would have a day where they'd have like you said gumbo, some scrimps, just all that stuff. I'm like, man, I would always look forward to whenever they had like the actual food and not just.
I was always like. Just making, I was like, yo, is there anything?
I made sure. You remember
in the
when
lunchroom today?
You remember when they would send out those emails?
Yeah.
And it was like they had all the rundown of everything that would happen. I was always in tune with every time.
We gotta be in that campus center at like 11:30, man. Get in line.
Right when the free, even before the free period started, just like make sure we were there. Any free giveaways and handouts, like I was all over.
I do miss Rutgers. I loved Rutgers.
Rutgers was a good time.
Yeah, I loved Rutgers.
Rutgers Camden, shout out.
Just Rutgers in general, bro. Just
shout out Rutgers in general, but this is coming from me. Camden is the camp. I'd only been in New Brunswick campus one time, and I didn't have a good experience. I got sick.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But the Rutgers Camden campus, I was there for 5 years, man. Consistently, I still walk around the campus from time to time.
Weirdo.
Not really. I walk around the waterfront and stuff to play Pokemon Go and whatnot.
Yeah, maybe in the next episode I'll tell everybody where your name, what I call you, where it comes from. And where it derived from? Yeah, because I don't call you Zero. I don't call you Son of the Sun. I don't call you.
How much time we got, bro? How much time?
No, it's 1:17.
Right.
No,
we'll save it for another
another episode. But yeah, dude.
All right, word.
All right, but yeah, we'll wrap it up with this episode. I just wanted to, try to keep it consistent with the vibe of the week. Last week, as of this recording, Drake dropped his Dark Lane demo tapes. And, aside from Tootsie Slide and War, which were like two like singles he already released, shit took me back to some Nothing Was the Same vibes, bro. Like
2013.
I listened to that right when it dropped at midnight. Yeah, I sound like a Drake stan, but I'm really not. But I was up anyway, so I was like, all right, let me listen to it when it drops. It just took me back to 2013, and I was like, damn, he's talking his shit. He's telling stories. He's being the storyteller Drake, and I fucking love that Drake. So, yeah, my vibe of the week, I don't know if you got one. You don't have to have one. But my vibe of the week is Drake's Dark Lane demo tapes. I highly recommend the Chicago freestyle where he does a little callback to your boy Slim Shady. So I mean, all my Eminem fans will know right when they hear that song. But yeah, Dark Lane demo tapes by Drake. That's my definite vibe of the week.
I do have one song I want to throw out there. For once, this is actually of this generation. It's not from the 80s or 90s. It's somewhat more still not new.
Still not 2020.
Nah.
Yeah.
But we're going to 2012.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
a joint I've been listening to for a lot lately. I've listened to this track before, but I've really just been listening to it a whole lot lately.
Just tell me what it is.
A song called Fluorescent Ink. It was on a MMG Self-Made Volume 2 with Wale and Stali. I think it was the second to last track. Real smooth vibe. All writers can relate to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just dig that joint a lot. Been banging it a lot lately. So Fluorescent Ink, MMG Self-Made Volume 2.
Thank you for not putting out a 90s song or something by Roscoe Dash for once.
Roscoe has not been my vibe
Stop.
of the week.
No, we're not talking about it.
But
okay.
Yeah, I got you. It mainly is like a throwback R&B joint.
Yeah,
but
that's something I really might look into. I never heard of it.
Yeah, look it up, bro.
All right. So we're gonna wrap it up for this special Mother's Day bonus episode. Shout out once again to all of the moms out there.
Shout out to our own mothers. We love
mothers,
you guys.
grandmothers, aunts, all of y'all. I love y'all.
Every single mother out there, you guys are appreciated.
Yes.
We respect what you do. No one else can do what you do.
We wouldn't be here without y'all.
Not at all. We got hella love for you guys, and who knows? Maybe in the future we'll bring some mothers or something.
Oh yeah, for
to
sure.
come on the pod.
Definitely.
Give a different perspective.
Okay, but we'll wrap it up here, and now that the podcast you can find it everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Google, Apple. Remember to follow us. Leave a rating, subscribe,
drop comments,
do all
share,
of that stuff.
All that stuff.
Let us know what you think. We're looking for that stuff now.
As long as you guys rock with us, we gonna keep rocking with you.
Yes, sir. Oh, we're gonna keep rocking.
Yeah, we're gonna keep rocking regardless. But
regardless,
we got some good stuff, man. We really try hard to put our all into this, so we definitely appreciate everybody who's been checking us out, watching our videos, listening to the pods, vibing with us. Like he said, man, like, comment, subscribe, share, follow,
all that good shit.
Let us know, even if you guys don't like it. Let us know. Let us know.
Yeah. Tell us how weird we sound.
We're very open to constructive criticism. If you guys have any ideas of things you want to see or hear, let us know. Like, we're all for the people.
All good, man. I love all of it. But all right, man. It's been your man J Rod, and
it's been your man El Hijo del Sol.
And to put that in English, the son of the sun. And we are out. Love you, Mom.
Adios.